No, sorry, I can't let you pass into this video wearing that. Now, normally I wouldn't be judgmental, but recently I got sponsored by Into the AM, and they've sent me so many stylish, sexy looking shirts that I just don't let anyone watch my videos anymore. So if you'd like to continue watching my channel, please go ahead and use the link in the description and code ONEBOOM10 to save 10% off of any of the t-shirts they offer. They also offer 3 of their premium graphic tees for $60, or 3 classic non-graphic tees for $49. That way, I can look my best, you can look your best, and we can watch this video, where I'm going to be probably complaining about a video game. Links in the description. Hey there, this is the One Boom, and today we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 and the existence of game modes like Ground War or Gunfight. This topic came to my mind while watching Exclusive Ace talk about his wishlist for the Ground War mode in Modern Warfare 2. Because Modern Warfare 2 is going to have something called battle maps, which are just larger maps for Ground War style modes. You know, larger environments, higher play counts, something more akin to Battlefield than Call of Duty. It's something that I actually really liked in MW 2019 when the game came out. It was a breath of fresh air. But since Modern Warfare 2019's been out for a while, I've become increasingly puristy and whiny. While I love it when Call of Duty tries something new, whether it's Fireteam Dirty Bomb, the War mode from COD World War II, Ground War, Gunfight, even Champion Hill in Call of Duty Vanguard has at least some acknowledgeable merit, I guess. But my thinking is, why do more when you could do better? What is the honest point of having something like Ground War, Gunfight, Fireteam, War Mode, Champion Hill, if it takes away from the core reason people have been purchasing the franchise? Now, of course, all of the game modes I just mentioned have their fans, except Champion Hill, but all of the game modes I mentioned except Champion Hill have their fans. They have people that only are loading up the game to play Ground War, or Gunfight, or whatever. Just because there are fans of something doesn't mean it has an inherent place. And I'm not saying that you only matter as a fan if you like the thing I like. What I'm saying is that just the popularity of the game mode doesn't entirely justify its position. Everything that's introduced into the market is bound to gain a fan or two. Hell, this YouTube channel has fans, so just let that sink in. That doesn't mean my videos are amazing or groundbreaking or even well made. It just means I have people that like what I'm providing. So yes, these game modes have fans. But my concern is, how many balance decisions are made around these extra novelty game modes? In some ways, I imagine it presses for innovation because the developers have to put players in new environments, which has new problems, which needs new solutions. So that's good. But what I don't like is that when I buy Call of Duty for the traditional Call of Duty experience I've enjoyed since I was, 9 years old, and I feel like the developers of this game I'm buying are just spread too thin. They're worrying about how Gunfight's playing, and how Ground War's playing, and how Dirty Bomb's playing, and how Champion Hill is playing. Yeah, that game mode really just can't be an example here. Either way, Call of Duty implementing unique 6v6 modes like Blitz or Uplink and Advanced Warfare and Ghosts, that kind of stuff is, it's cool because it fits in with the 6v6 maps and it's just a new type of objective to interact with, whereas making entirely new landscapes for entirely new modes of play, I think took away a lot from Modern Warfare 2019. Like with MW 2019, even if you enjoyed it strictly for its Ground War and Gunfight game modes, imagine if all of that dev time was poured in to 6v6 maps. Imagine if every 6v6 map had a bit more development time and refinement. Imagine if the game would have been able to launch with like double the number of 6v6 maps instead of a bunch of little maps for Gunfight and big maps and play spaces for Ground War. And then you have dual purpose development where some of the Spec Ops areas were designed to be Warzone map areas and Ground War map areas. While that saves time and is clever and I totally appreciate it, I still wonder, how much better would Spec Ops have been if it was designed from the ground up to just be its own thing and not have the locations double as Warzone and Ground War map locations? And then they designed entirely new maps for MW 2019's Gunfight mode. I think this approach to development really provides a lot of variety for everybody and gives everybody something to sink their teeth into if they want to. But it also, I think, sacrifices refinement. Certain things were balanced around Warzone that negatively affected multiplayer and vice versa. Certain weapons in core 6v6 were kind of useless to me, but on Ground War they were exceptional. And to me that's not a great thing. I think it'd be better if the developers could focus their time and energy and, again, refinement into a singular set of experiences. Obviously, have new novelty game modes, bring back old novelty game modes. Do things that are new, add interactability, add swimming, add destructible doors, add things that add a little bit of life to the maps, add interactable environments like Black Ops 1 and Call of Duty Ghosts had. Focus on making the traditional COD experience something it hasn't been before, versus designing new experiences that Call of Duty might not have any business being. Ground War and MW 2019 can be pretty fun, and I had my fun in Gunfight before it got incredibly sweaty. But if you said, hey, what if I took away Ground War and Gunfight and instead put more time and money and resources and energy into the 6v6 map landscape, I of course would take that option. And before you say different teams work on different things and different groups work on different things, that doesn't matter. I don't know why that comes up in my comment section when I bring up topics of being spread too thin. Someone says, oh, it's a different dev team or it's a different part of the department. Yeah, but that's still time and resources going into an element of the product that a player could ask, why does this even exist? Whether it's Microsoft or Activision, certain projects have certain amounts of money allotted to them. And how much money, you have to ask, how much money is being spent on novelty, separate game modes that require their own maps and their own rule sets and their own mechanics, versus that money going into the core Call of Duty experience that we've all sort of connected over, and refining it and perfecting it and innovating it in meaningful and just cool ways. I hate to be this bitch, but I really wish that Modern Warfare 2 was not going to have a ground war or any sort of novelty side mode. I wish it was a refined multiplayer, refined Spec Ops, and a well-paced, good-length campaign, so I can just sleep soundly at night knowing that money wasn't left on the table for projects that ultimately don't add anything to the part of the formula that I love the franchise for. And last but not least, we have to talk about post-launch content. Post-launch content centering around game modes like Ground War and Gunfight always frustrated me. I feel like everybody can get behind 6v6 multiplayer if they've been a COD fan for longer than a week. But when a whole part of a season is 2 new Gunfight maps or a new Ground War map, a lot of people that buy COD for the traditional experience are like, yay, you added content to a mode I'm not playing. And while I'm sure some Ground War fans felt the same way about 6v6, I'm just saying, one is the entire foundation Call of Duty is built off of, and the other isn't. I would have loved to get 4 6v6 maps per season versus a gunfight map, a Ground War map, and a multiplayer map, or something along those lines. But of course, there's a lot of nuance here. They might have a really good way to budget it out. The battle maps might just be larger versions or surrounding areas of 6v6 maps, and that's how they're doing that. There could be a lot going on that makes my issue almost null and void, and I'd be okay with that. I'm saying as a whole, in general, just broad strokes paint the fence faster. I would prefer Call of Duty to refine its core component versus adding a bunch of components it might not have any business pursuing, both financially and time-wise. Between post-launch content, balance patches, and generally just the amount of refinement in the game, I think I have a pretty strong case here that Call of Duty should focus up on what makes Call of Duty great. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching this little opinionated video. If you guys want to support my channel, there are links in the description to do so. And I live stream on this channel. Hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live. And there's probably videos on screen right now that you could be tapping or clicking on, and then you could watch them and it would help me in the algorithm and it would give you something else to do. Because Lord knows that paper you need to turn in, that work you need to get to, it can wait, all right? There are videos of a 24-year-old complaining about video games on your screen right now. Don't miss this opportunity to procrastinate further. See you when I see you.